Ethereum to $6,400 and some other things are the subjects of this video, and this is going to be a somewhat meditative one because we got the sound of rain up above. This is going to annoy a lot of you, but to me this is actually quite exciting. I love the sound of rain in the background. And I want to go through something that's very important with Ethereum for you guys. You know, Ethereum has certain tendencies, it has certain characteristics, and one of those characteristics is that it loves to respect certain support lines and so on for a very, very long time, right? I want to show you this line right here that Ethereum was able to hold on to for a shockingly long amount of time. You know, if we take a look at this support line roughly drawn like this, I haven't drawn it perfectly, we can see that we started to use this line as support back, you know, from the coronavirus market crash of March 2020. And this one diagonal support line was interacted with relatively consistently across quite a nice gap of time, going all the way forward by about 2 years over here. Not quite 2 years on this occasion, but close. And so this is a very, very long time for Ethereum to be obeying the same support level. And the reason I'm saying that is if you consider Ethereum in all of its history, and we can't, can we go back that far? Yeah, we can. We're pretty much going back as far as we can. Ethereum's only really been around for 6-7 years, right? So for it to, you know, I mean, this line tells the whole story. In fact, I can drop two vertical lines to put this in perspective for you guys. I mean, we only lost the line basically right here. You know, I mean, this entire patch of trading for Ethereum, let me just box this off. Ethereum was respecting this line. And when you consider, again, just the age of Ethereum, just how young it is, it's not been around for that long. If it's been respecting one level for so long, that's telling us that when we have these long-term support levels, we should be paying attention. You know, we shouldn't just brush it off like it's no big deal. And that is something which I want to really, really bring to your attention, because right now we have a line which is potentially a bullish version of this. You know, obviously, any diagonal line like this generally cannot last forever. You know, we're not going to be able to use these lines forever. There's a million examples of how we've failed them in the past. You know, they're good to show us the direction and the strength of the trend, but beyond that, it's dangerous to use them in the long term. And so what I want to show you is a very similar line that potentially shows us how Ethereum could be going much higher. And I've got a lot of cool things to be showing you in this video. And what does this line look like? It's right here. Now, before I carry on, I have to make this clear. I'm on the logarithmic scale right here. I'm on the log scale. You can't do this on the linear chart. It's not going to work. The log scale, a lot of, how do I say, expert traders would generally say is the correct scale to be analyzing these markets, especially crypto, because it's very volatile. I'm not going to go into that for this video, but we are using the log scale right now. If you don't know what that means, it basically means that we're scaling in terms of percentage points, not in terms of linear progression. You know, you can see each box here is equally weighted by $200. On the log scale, it's not equally weighted by dollars, it's equally weighted by percent. Each box here represents about 6% of price action, whereas previously it represented $200 of price action. And so what we can see from this line, and this line is potentially even more important, is that we've been obeying this line not only as resistance, but also a little bit as support. Not too much, but we have had the one reversal right here and the second reversal right here. And to me, that makes it even more of a significant line. If we've only used the line as support or only as resistance, that's fine, it's good. But if we've used it as both, that's showing us that not only have the bulls had a chance to confirm that this line holds true, but so have the bears. And that is a very, very important distinction, because if it means that we're able to break this line, we could be looking at quite a significant breakout. And we're kind of at crunch time right now, because the next thing that I want to show you is going to really demonstrate that there's a fair bit of pressure on Ethereum right now. Now, this is actually the very same support level that we were looking at for quite a while on my other Ethereum chart right here. This is the same support level I was predicting bounces from. It's the same support level that I was shorting Ethereum into, you know, where I managed to pull that profit that I was telling all of you guys about. Again, that all went down inside of VIP, and if you're not already in there, I don't know what you're doing, you're wasting your time. Check it out with the first link in the description down below, then click on the @4flies button at the bottom of any post inside of 4flies Gold, and then click on send message to ask me how to join VIP. This is going to put you in a direct chat with me, and if I'm not able to respond, one of my assistants will anyway, where I can give you all of the information on 4flies VIP and how to join. Moving back to the charts though, this level we've known to be significant for quite a while, and if I bring us back to this other chart to demonstrate why, it's because we've formed quite important reversals at this support area, right? If we look at the support area right here, we are looking at a quite nice bounce up from, you know, basically $1,700-$1,800 all the way up to about 3,000 in one quick leg. Again over here, a much smaller move, but still something relatively significant. And then the next one over here was actually a new all-time high, and that was phenomenal. So that was also very, very cool. That to me means that this is a very, very important level, and we're basically getting squeezed between this line and the support level at the moment. So a breakout should be close, and there's a lot of other indications to show us that the breakout might be close. There's open interest, that's very, very high. I can't show you that in this video, unfortunately, but take my word for it or Google it, it's very, very high. Open interest will generally show you if a big move is about to come. You know, it's quite obvious as well. I think we all just know that there's a big move kind of coiling up, getting ready to happen. Especially when we see things like Bitcoin, which, you know, for the most part now, is just trading sideways. You know, that is obviously what directly precedes a big move to the upside or the downside, right? When we had this period of relatively low volatility of about 24 days, it was followed directly by a big bout of volatility, and I think that is something that we could be looking at now. Whether that means to the upside or to the downside, I don't want to make that conclusion yet, but I'm just saying that right now, time is potentially showing us that, yeah, we might have to pull something relatively soon. And obviously this is very, very zoomed out, right? I mean, we're not really, you know, these two things, you know, this resistance, the support, they don't meet until, pardon me, until about 2 weeks later, right? So there's still a fair bit of time left to go, but you know, this is still something that's worth paying attention to, in my opinion, because it means that, yeah, I mean, we could be seeing a little bit of pressure being applied on the market at this point. And so the next thing that I want to talk about is which direction this thing could be breaking in. Now, if it breaks in terms of, I mean, if it hits the resistance level and drops, I mean, it can drop by, you know, sometimes it drops by just a little bit, and then it comes back up, you know, even less, and then it comes back up. But other times, yeah, it drops by quite substantial amounts, right? And because we've been coiling up for a while, whatever that next move is, like I've just said, I would expect that next move to be quite a significant one. And so if it does end up, you know, smashing the upside and now, you know, potentially coming out of this consolidation, we are looking at potentially quite a large area, you know, where Ethereum could be dropping by. And this is unfortunately just the result of Ethereum rising very quickly. I say this with every asset. You guys who've been watching this channel for a while, who've been hitting up the likes and subscribe button and all that good stuff, will know this very, very well by now, that, you know, when we rise up too quickly, we're not able to establish support, right? And so, well, we're not finding resistance, basically, is what it means, right? So we're not finding resistance up here, we're not finding resistance up here. The only real area of resistance that we found on this chart was around $300, and yeah, no surprise, $300 ended up becoming a very, very important level in the market. If I draw this out as a box and I let the chart replay, you can see that we dropped very quickly in this area where we didn't find any resistance. We dropped very quickly, we didn't find support just as much as well. And then if we play the chart forward, as soon as we lost the $300 level, we again dropped very quickly down to this small area of consolidation at $80. This was actually the low for Ethereum, which was quite significant. Now you can start to see how we're interacting with this box, but we're not quite able to puncture it, right? So this very important area of resistance offers support in the future and then offers resistance when we get below it again. So this is what happens when we have price history. But if we play this chart forward to the present day now, and you can see this $300 level was still a big area of resistance for a while. If you were watching the channel back then, you're going to remember I got very, very bullish on Ethereum in these ranges warning you guys that not only was it going to potentially reach that all-time high, but also exceed it. Obviously, most people didn't like to hear those warnings, but we've been here with the 𝗬𝗙𝗏𝗏s channel, predicting this stuff over these years. Obviously, we're still going very, very strong, so that's cool. And what we have right now is, because, you know, this rally has been so explosive to the upside, from this yellow box up to this yellow box, if we lose this yellow box now, look, there's nowhere on this chart that we found resistance. So the next areas that I'm going to be able to expect Ethereum to potentially find a bit of support, is going to be this all-time high, because that's going to be some level of psychological support. And below that, I'm looking at about $800, and below that, I'm looking at $400 and $300 respectively. So, you know, big drops potentially. You know, if Ethereum is to fail this level. We're looking at a 55, well, let's see this. We're looking at a 23%, 20% drop to the previous all-time high from 2018. You know, if we fail that, we're looking at a, you know, potential 55% drop, and failing that, you know, and this would be the full market reset in my opinion. What are we looking at? We're looking at 78% from here. So quite a substantial drop. I don't think any of these things are happening. I think that Ethereum has very good support right here. And so the next thing that I want to show you again is just this chart right here to illustrate that we have been using this for quite a while. This actually isn't what we're in right now, though. This is our previous very, very important line that looked similar. This one we're able to draw from March 2018 to March 2019, nearly one whole year. Let me see if I can draw this for you guys right here. I'm going to use a different chart where I don't have any drawings. Let me delete all of these. And it is on the daily time frame. Let's go back to 2018, taking us way, way back. And all I want to do is draw this very same line, just like this, into March of 2019, looking something a little bit like this. This is essentially the chart that I have drawn over here. Rain is really getting very, very extreme right now, but hopefully it's just calming you guys down and providing a little bit of nice white noise for this video. You know, this line ended up being quite significant for Ethereum. We were using it as resistance, we were using it as support. Slightly, you know, somewhat similar circumstances to what we're in right now. And of course, this $80 level was the equivalent of our current $1,700 level. This was the consolidation and the absolute low for Ethereum that Ethereum set during the bear market of 2018. It's worth bearing in mind, we've never been down to this level since then, and we've never been below this level since, you know, April 2017. So that's basically 5 years ago now. You know, so I mean, it's been a long time since we've been down to these levels, and we ended up getting that bullish breakout. Now, the similarities are huge, because if we ended up failing this level, the next support level would have been a whole 40% lower, right? So again, if we're able to drop by 40% now, that's going to be putting us at probably like the $1,000 level or something like that, right? It's going to be a big, big drop. And so we're looking at quite similar catastrophes that we're potentially just on the edge of right now. But we ended up forming a very, very impressive rally. From the breakout point to the next major high, it was a 200% rally. What am I doing here? It was a you know, nearly 200% rally, but I've actually got it drawn over here correctly. From the lowest point, we're looking at a 240% rally to the upside. And this occasion right here, if we're looking at a 240% rally, that is going to put us squarely at $6,400, which would be absolutely phenomenal. We're looking at similar setups right here. Look, we even had a big Ichimoku cloud that was potentially offering resistance to Ethereum. Didn't matter. Ethereum managed to shrug it off and rally right through it. We're potentially seeing the formations of something very similar happening right now, still potentially giving us this very nice 240% $6,400 target. That is something which I want you guys to keep in mind, because again, from a psychological point of view, yes, of course, we're very, very low right now in terms of the Fear and Greed Index. We're jumping between 10 and 14 pretty much on the Fear and Greed Index right now. From 10 over here up to 17, down to 10, up to 14, over here 10, up to 12, you know, fluctuating a little bit up to a high of 14, back down to 10. You know, we're stuck in extreme fear for all intents and purposes right now, But, you know, this can change very, very quickly. All we need to change the sentiment in this market is to rise above some of these prior swing highs, to get back above 2,000 with some level of conviction, and so on and so forth. And we're going to start seeing that this Fear and Greed Index is going to move closer into neutral territory, and all it takes is one fat-fingered sell order, one fat-fingered buy order, a big buy order to come in and just shoot the market up by $1,000 or $500 for people to get very excited and start buying Bitcoin and Ethereum all over again to potentially make them blow up. So that is all very, very exciting as well. Bear with me, guys, just for a sec. And so that is something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on in this market. Of course, it is standing on an edge right now. So is Ethereum. But what I'm seeing right now, just looking at these two charts, you know, are some signs that we could be at the bottom. And the reason I'm pointing this all out is because nobody wants to talk about this. I'm not necessarily actually putting a lot of money towards these ideas. I have bought Bitcoin spot, you know, about a week ago or so when it was at its lows just down here. I did short Ethereum though, so, you know, I'm hedging a little bit. I made money on my long, I made money on my short, so that's absolutely great. Both of those trades went inside of VIP, and all of those are happening on Bybit as well. So if you want to check it out, sign up to Bybit using my link in the description down below. This is the same platform that I'm using to trade on. And if you do that, when you make your first deposit, you're going to get some extra cash deposited for free into your account as a thank you for using my link as well. So that is absolutely great if you're interested in that kind of thing. There you are. It's linked in the description down below. But there you go, guys. That's my analysis on Ethereum and Bitcoin for today. If you have enjoyed this one, you know what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.